Hey, what up, family? How you guys doing out there? I'm your host, DJ JesusBeats. Also with the new radio show, my radio show coming next year, which is Light of the Kingdom radio show, and also music director for West Coast Fire Radio, and affiliated with One Accord DJs. Thank you, Fudge, for giving my t-shirt out in time, and I've been representing it. And I'm really proud to be a part of an organization that is really being serious, getting our DJs connected with one another, getting ourselves educated with the music, and also being entrepreneurs in the music industry. With that being said, today's video blog is about the future of the mixtape. The future of the mixtape. That sounds interesting, right? Well, let me tell you why I made this title up. The future of the mixtape. As a gospel DJ, Christian DJ, or just a DJ in general, but I'm a gospel DJ. I do all music inside the gospel. I try to stay. I basically don't touch anything with the worldly stuff. I just stick with just straight gospel because I don't want to dip and dab into things and might get myself caught up back into sinning again, going back into my old past, my old me. I don't want to see that side of me no more. I want to do everything for Jesus Christ. But enough being said about that. The reason why I'm talking about this is because as a DJ this year, 2011, we're about to go into 2012. I've seen almost 90 plus mixtapes that have been released this whole year that have came from artists on the gospel community that did not feature a DJ. None. Didn't even have a DJ touch it. Didn't even have a DJ even mix some of the songs or do an intro. And what does it say about the future of mixtapes? It says that the future of mixtapes is going down into the trash. Hear me out now. I don't want you artists getting offended and getting mad at me because I'm about to keep it real. Because keeping it real has a price to pay for it. But I really want to let you guys know that I'm really disappointed in it. Why? Because as a DJ, and not only myself, but there's other fellow DJs out there who all feel the same way. I just have the ability to do it on video and release my concerns for it. Why is this a frustration? Because we have almost 300 plus gospel DJs nation and worldwide. Nation and worldwide. We got DJs in the UK. We have DJs in Kenya. We got DJs in New Zealand, Australia. We have overseas DJs. We have DJs across in every state you can think of except for Montana and Alaska. Well, I don't know yet, but I'm pretty sure they are. But we have a whole abundance of Christian DJs, gospel DJs, who have the ability to get your music in their hands and really get it out to their fan base. But what has been going on this whole year has been what I call Operation Monkey See, Monkey Do. Okay, that's exactly what has been going on ever since the beginning of this year until almost to the end of 2011. It has been a monkey see, monkey do routine. You see this artist release a mixtape on a Tuesday, and then 5 other ones come out like chimpanzees and decide to release a mixtape because this so-called artist did it without even thinking about, well, let me do some more research into how can I get my mixtapes done. Out of the 90 plus mixtapes, and there's many more. There's probably almost 300 mixtapes that were released by Christian artists. Out of all of them, I have not found one that I was interested in. Not even one. They're good music. Now, a lot of them have great music. They have great songs. I'm not going to lie. There's some great songs on these so-called mixtapes. But nobody wants to hear a song if it's not mixed. A mixtape is exactly what it's called. A mixtape, which means that there is some type of mixing going on in the music to make it appealing for the listeners. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. Think about it, artists. I want y'all to go back. Think back. For those of you who are in their 30s and 40s, up a little bit. Some of you in your late 20s. Think about when you were listening on the radio stations, and they used to have the mix at 6, or the 10 o'clock mixtape, or they had your favorite DJ on your radio station that would tear it up on the ones and twos on your hottest hip hop and R&B station. Think about it real quick. Matter of fact, go back to the old school stations, the R&B stations, and you'll have that old school DJ that will mix up all the old school songs, the party mix, the Friday night light mix, the Friday night master mix, the Saturday edition, the thunderstorm mix, whatever you can think of. For those of you who used to listen to Hot 97 and listen to Power 105, listen to WBLS, and used to hear DJ Red Alert and listen to a whole bunch of the Funkmaster Flex and listen to Kid Capri and all these other DJs, DJ Clue. Go back to that time and when you heard how the mix was done and you loved it so much. For those of you down in Jacksonville, Florida, remember Jam Pony Express when he used to talk throughout the whole song? Oh yeah, Jam Pony Express, man. Yeah. Oh, ride that train, yeah, baby. This is what I'm talking about as far as mixtapes. The DJ was in full control of the mixtape. The music was amazing. People fell in love with, I fell in love with the music because the DJ was in control of it. Now, we got so many artists out there, and I'm going to be real. A lot of your artists don't know, but now here's the time to know. If you're going to be affiliated with hip-hop, you need to start studying your hip-hop history and start learning about what true hip-hop was about. And stop getting caught up in the bandwagon and doing this monkey see, monkey do routine, thinking that because so-and-so did it and it's successful, that your time, if you do it this way, it's going to be successful too, because it's not always going to happen like that. Never does. Let me just break it down to y'all real quick. Let me give you some examples of how mixtapes should sound, or mixes should sound. Why? Because nobody wants to hear a dead air song. And here's the thing with all these so-called mixtapes, or we call, thanks to Edwin, we call buzz tapes, because you're creating a buzz for your audience. And the songs, this is the difference between a true mixtape and an artist mixtape. A true mixtape has mixes, it has horns, it has sirens, it has a DJ intro, it has artist drops, it has everything. It's a continuous mix. The music is continuously going. You really don't hear no boring spots. Even if the lamest song is on the mix, it's mixed well to where you are interested in listening to it. Now with an artist so-called mixtape, you just hear the song ends, there's a 2 to 5 second pause. And then the song comes in, another song comes in. Then that song ends. 2 to 5 second pause. Then the next song comes in. We're only at track 3. And you got 17 tracks on this so-called mixtape. You know how boring it is riding in a car for at least 2 to 3 hours, going from one destination to the next, and I have to hear dead silence in between my songs? It makes me want to listen to radio stations. Like, I'm looking forward to listening to Yolanda Adams' morning show just so that I can fill in those gaps. And I don't mean to be rude and mean, but for those artists who take this seriously, and you understand what I'm talking about, then you will become, God's going to elevate you to be in a position where you're going to be a leader. And your music's going to be a ministry tool. And you're going to grow from it. For those who look at this video, and these artists that look at this video as, well, I don't care, I'm going to do what I want to do. Well, all I can say is that good luck. Because, and here's the answer to any question for any artist out there and I get a lot of artists that hit me up on Facebook and Twitter, and they hit me up and they're like, yo man, can you check out my mixtape? And I'll go to it. Oh, it's on thatpiff.com. It's on this website. It's on that website. And I'll go and check it out just to see who's featured on it as a DJ, because that's the first thing I'm checking. If there's no DJ on it, I just close it out, ignore you. And I know it sounds rude, but I don't want to hear no mixtape without no DJ on it, because because as a DJ, it's a slap in the face. It's like a DJ releasing an album that doesn't feature no artist. It's just released an album with instrumentals. I mean, like, I'm not gonna feature no artists on my album. What's up with that? You don't even do nothing, just release instrumentals. How would your artist feel if the DJ just releasing an album and they taking your beats and they just releasing as instrumental, an album, instrumental album like jazz, and they don't want to feature no artists? How would y'all feel? Y'all be like, man, what the? Now, let me give you some examples of some. Let me give you all some examples of some mixes that that some of the DJs can do. This one is from DJ Sean Blue out of Augusta, Georgia. He did a mix on here, like a 30-minute mix. DJ, and you guys can get a lot of these mixes from Sacred Apparel Mixtapes.com. SacredApparelMixtapes.com, the #1 site where mixtapes, you can always get a lot of mixtapes on there. Great job, Twink and the whole crew out there. And I know it's a shameless plug, but I want to let you know that you guys are the #1 mixtape spot, always have been and always will be. That you feature a lot of DJs, a lot of mixtapes on there. But SacredApparelMixtapes.com, go to the DJ section and get all the DJs that have DJ so-and-so on it. All right, but here's one right here. DJ Sean Blue. Yeah, it comes up with the intro. And he's mixing it up. DJ Sean Blue. Hear the horns? Hey Josh, that's for you. That's for you, Josh. DJ Sean Blue. That's me just adding more horns to it, though. See how he's mixing it? Nah, it doesn't have that many horns. I was just throwing horns in for that was for Josh from Elect Recordings. So, Josh, you always like horns and everything in all the mixes. So, I had to throw like 6 or 7 more extra horns in there. So, Sean Blue, that's not. That's an inside joke for One Accord DJs, but Josh, that's for you automatically. Now, there's other mixes from DJ G Bless, DJ Spinoff, DJ Cuts, DJ Will from Jacksonville, DJ I Rock Jesus, myself, DJ G Bless. If I mention his name again, y'all forgive me. And there's many more, DJ Rhino. There's many more DJs who are really being serious with their mixtapes. DJ Promote, DJ Absolute, and these DJs are really being serious with the mixtapes. So I strongly encourage all of you wonderful artists out there, you talented artists that's really serious, start connecting with the DJs. One of the easiest ways to find out if there's some DJs you can connect with is to email oneaccordDJs@gmail.com. oneaccordDJs@gmail.com. That's oneaccordDJs@gmail.com. You hit up the One Accord DJs. Ask them, hey, look, I'm looking for a DJ to feature on to do my mixtape for me. Now, here's the thing with mixtapes artists. I want you guys to understand. We as DJs, we don't get paid. We get lowballed. We get shortchanged just as much as you artists do. For events and everything else, people always want to shortchange us. When it comes to doing a mixtape, it's not cheap. It's not easy. It's not free. There has to be a price that needs to be paid. So if you're really serious about this DJ that you want to host your mixtape, and you know that he or she is going to do an amazing job, then if they have to charge you to do all the production and everything else and the mix and the mastering, then you should save your money up and get it done. I'm not trying to just sit here and say that, oh, it's not fair, man. I'm not doing it. This is why most of you probably doing your mixtapes, because you feel like, well, I ain't paying no DJ to do my mixes. But then when you bring out your just so-called mixtape, it sounds so garbage and horrible that nobody wants to support you on it. And it's like most of us feel like, man, you guys should have just released an album. So if you're not willing to be an entrepreneur, be serious with your craft, save your money up, budget, save your money. Stop trying to, and if you're doing this full-time ministry, It's more than just going to the studio and sitting in the studio and sitting your behind all day in the studio and recording music, because that's not full-time ministry. Full-time ministry is when you're out there witnessing to people in the streets, when you're out there following your pastor, leading people to the word, going out to the homeless shelters, going out to the hospitals, going out to churches, communities, getting with leaders, finding ways to improve your community, and also just providing spiritual guidance to people and being a leader and also a disciple and a discipler. So if you're thinking full-time ministry is sitting in the booth and taking photos and pictures on Facebook of your booth and thinking that's the dopest thing ever since the NBA coming back, then you are totally lost. Nobody cares about what your booth looks like. What I care about is your lifestyle, who you are as an individual. I don't care how many songs you artists do, and you can record 56 songs in one whole year. I'm just making it up, but 56. You can do 56 songs all year. But if you're not serious with your craft, if you're not serious with also your family, your lifestyle, if you're a husband and you're not spending time with your wife, if you're not spending time with your kids, if you're not out there being a man of God or a woman of God, and the only thing you're thinking is this hard full-time ministry is in the booth recording music, then you are totally lost. You need to self-examine yourself and realize, what are you doing this for? That goes for me as a DJ. And I know this is like totally left field. It's kind of like on another subject, but it's serious. So I'm really serious for all of us, because we have to self-examine ourselves. A full-time ministry does not entitle you to be in your booth, sitting on your tail, drinking energy drinks, taking photos of your booth, recording music 24/7, and thinking that you are saving souls. Because at the end of the day, the people are still out in the streets. Your friends and your family are still going through trials and tribulations. Where are you at as an individual? Are you in your church? Are you involved with your church? Are you involved with your pastor? Are you involved with your spiritual leaders, the mother of the church, the deacons, the elders? Are you involved with your family? These are things that you have to ask yourself. If you're just secluding yourself to the booth just to record an album so you can make money, then you gotta get a job. Get your behind out and go get a job, whether it's at Walmart, whether it's at the fast food place, McDonald's. Put your pride on hold. Some of you don't want to work. Listen, the Bible says it clearly. A man who does not work does not eat. So what are you doing? Making music. Name me one gospel artist that's a multi-millionaire. None. All right? So stop thinking that this is a get rich dream. It's not going to happen overnight. If God never intended for you to make money off of this, then you got to suck it up like a grain of salt and realize that God wants you behind out there working at McDonald's, working for the county, working for your local districts, working wherever you can make a job. Whether you got to be a septic tank, you got to cut wood, you got to do lawn work, you got to build houses, construction, whatever job it is out there that you need to get your behind out there and get a job, a real job, because in the music industry, you're not going to be a multi-millionaire in the gospel community. That's just the honest truth. All right. I know this is on my soapbox, but this is the serious truth. Then y'all have to understand as artists that it's more than just thinking that if I sell this song on iTunes, I'm going to be rich. There is no rich artists out there. Even some of the artists who are very talented at this, like Lecrae, I'm giving an example of him. He's been on the Billboard charts right now for Billboard, not iTunes, Billboard charts for almost 11 weeks straight with his album Rebel. And he's been up there for a reason, because God said that I want him up there, not because of what he did. It has nothing to do with him. It has all to do with God. And God has provided for his family, but he's not a multi-millionaire. He's still a man of God who comes home to his family. He feeds his son. He spends time with his wife. He has a family just like all of you guys. He's not counting up money and be like, yeah, Reach Records, we in the money, we in the paint, we flashing it. If he's blessed with that, that's the reason why God blessed him with that. But it's the same thing with a lot of you artists out there. Be serious with your craft. I know this is, you got to take it seriously. Full-time ministry is not sitting in a booth on your lazy tail recording songs, because that is not ministry. All right, I don't care. Some of you can get mad and you can go up on stage. You think that full-time ministry is going on stage and performing. Listen, if you're not even willing to connect with the church after you finish performing and talk with them about what can I do to help your church ministry out, and you're looking at going to the next place so where you can make some more money, then you're in the wrong business. You need to do this secular, because the secular mind, the worldly mind, the lust for the money, the lust for the world is what's going to drag you into chasing the money and chasing this pipe dream that a gospel artist can be a multi-millionaire just as much as Rick Ross and all these other rappers and singers out here who do make money like that. It does not happen. You will never see it happen, because if God never intended for it to happen, it will never happen. If God never predestined for it, then it will never be predestined. So what I'm trying to tell you, artists, is be serious. If this is not working, if you're thinking full-time ministry, just sitting in the studio, get your behind and go get a job. A J-O-B. That's the word for the night. Job. That means and put your pride in check. If you got to make $200 every week at Burger King just so you can put food and pay your bills, do it. I'm not saying that you got to do this forever, but a job is better than none job. A paycheck is better than none. And I'm not trying to tell you that you got to work just to kill yourself, but sometimes you have to be able to put your pride aside and be able to do things in order to keep yourself, your family sustained. If you're married, for my married men out there, if your wife is not happy with what you're doing, she feels that you're in the studio too much, you're putting more time into your music, you're putting more time into everything else, and you're not putting time to her, trust me, your marriage will be in a wreck real quick. Your wife will be looking somewhere else for somebody else, and for somebody else to please her, if she's not getting that attention. So artists, be serious. Take care. Your first ministry is to your wife or your husband and to your children or your child. That is your first ministry. Behind God, your first ministry, if you're married, is to your wife or your husband and your children or your child. That's it. Don't be putting music above them, because your music, your children can be in a chaos. Some of you are out there recording all these songs and stuff, and your kids are out there, your kids are teenagers, and they're out there fornicating with young grown men, or they fornicating, getting girls pregnant. And you're up here talking about, Lord, I just gotta get in this booth and record some more songs. Get your house in order. I know this took a whole nother left field, but that's just it. With the mixtapes, artists, be serious with your mixtapes. Get the DJs involved. All right, every DJ that watches this video, next 2012 is Occupy Mixtapes. I want every DJ that does mixtapes to get involved. Get involved with doing mixtapes. If you hear an artist that releases a so-called mixtape and you feel like you can remix it and make it better than it was before, do it and send it back to them. Send it to them and let them know that, hey, this is how my skills are. If you have the time. Not every DJ can do it, but if you got the time to do that, if you heard a good compilation mixtape and you want to take that challenge, like let's say, for example, Canon mixes a mixtape and it wasn't mixed by no DJ, and if a DJ decides they want to remix it and put it to their tags and everything, do it. And send it back to Canon and say, hey, look, this is what you should have been done from the beginning. So Occupy Mixtape 2012, get ready for that, all right? And artists, I want you to know that this is all in love. This has nothing to do with me. I'm not trying to put myself out there. I'm not trying to be number one. I don't care about no awards, no accolades, or anything like that. I'm just being serious with you guys, because as a man of God, we have to hold each other accountable. I want all of you to hold me accountable. I want y'all to keep me in prayer. I'm about to have my first child. Me and my wife are about to have our first child in 2012. And I want you guys to keep me uplifted in prayer, because this is serious. So I'm about to put a lot of things on hold. I'm putting the West Coast Fire interviews on hold. I put my radio show on hold. I put, even though I'm running West Coast Fire Radio, I look forward to maintaining that, and God has allowed me to maintain that. But when my son comes in this world, he is going to be my first priority, and my wife. So what that means is you guys might not see me for the next 3 months after January, because I'm going to be involved with my family and getting to be a father and also be a wonderful husband to my wife, because they are my first ministry. And I encourage every one of you artists and my DJs and everybody to keep in contact with one another. Let's pray for one another. outside of music, let's talk about other things. DJ Tony Tone, I thank you so much for how much guidance and enlightenment you have talked to me about. And I encourage every other DJ to give him a call. Give DJ Tony Tone a call. God really used this man to really minister to me also. And it has taught me so much to be a man of God and to be a husband, be looking more than just the music. And I encourage all you artists to do the same thing. All right. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Peace.